You've heard the hip-hop before. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. We are now joined by one of the true OGs in the football analytics world. He's a founder and editor-in-chief of Football Outsiders. Please welcome to the breakfast table, Aaron Schatz.
Thank you, and I would like to thank the Party Rock guys for giving me my own theme song so I didn't have to come up with one myself.
Red Food, thank you. You made the show.
Of course. Now, Aaron, you are dropping this year's Football Outsiders Almanac, or as I like to call FOA Shots. It's the analytics have been taken off, as you know, and they're really big right now, and there's so much out there. What separates what you're bringing to the table and that's out there?
Well, a couple of things, I think. We have a number of proprietary stats, stuff we've been doing for a long time. DVOA, which is our main stat, which measures the success on every play. The idea is to think like a coach. So you think in terms of situational football, not like a math professor where you just add a bunch of numbers together, but you think in terms of down and distance. We also think that the writing separates us. We look for people who are writers first and foremost. You can just run tables of numbers, but that's dry and boring. We want to explain what the numbers mean. We want to watch the film. We want to see how the film reflects the numbers and the numbers reflect the film. And then we put it all in a big book, which is 500 pages long and previews the whole season.
I gotta tell you, this makes me so happy. I'm gonna geek out over this thing. I know, Shregs, you are too. Football Outsiders is amazing, and this is the Almanac 2018. It is a phone book of knowledge that's surprisingly easy to navigate. That's why I constantly go to Football Outsiders. But you started this back, what, like 2003?
Yeah.
When nobody was really diving into, it wasn't hot in the streets to do all the stats and analytics. What inspired you to even start Football Outsiders? Well,
I live outside Boston, and I'm a Patriots fan, and in 2002, everybody was curious, why were the Patriots not going back to the playoffs after they had won the Super Bowl the year before? So there's a reporter in Boston by the name of Ron Borges, and he was writing, the problem was that they didn't establish the run. But at the same time, the team that Ron Borges thought was going to win the Super Bowl that year was Oakland, and their running back was Charlie Garner, who ran less than any running back in the league. He was primarily a pass catcher. I said, okay, 2 and 2 don't add up here. This doesn't make sense. So I had always been a big fan of Bill James and all those baseball analytics guys, and Bill James got his start just counting things in box scores and putting together reports. So I'm like, all right, I'm going back to the box scores. I'm going to count things up. Does establishing the run in the first half really help you win games? And I discovered that no, what matters is running well and efficiently, not running more, that just running a lot in the first half doesn't break down defenses. And then I discovered I had this database of every play in the season from 2002, so I'm like, okay, let's create some stuff with this. And I did, and then I got together with some fraternity brothers, and we launched this website in July of 2003.
Wow.
And it's boomed from there. I've been doing this for 15 years now.
That's awesome.
Steven, look, you look skeptical. What does this look?
What's going on, Smith?
I'm not skeptical. I get the analytics, but then also, too, some of the things that you're saying, I agree. But one of the key factors that analytics can't quantify is the reason why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Oakland Raiders is because their former coach knew everything.
Okay.
And they knew all the information. They knew the plays.
Okay.
Because it wasn't the numbers or the facts or the figures. It was the head was cut off, and the head was in Tampa Bay and no longer in Oakland. And they understood how and why those teams are what they were going to do. So they didn't have the numbers. They had a good old-fashioned playbook.
Right.
And so they just gave the playbook.
So you're saying there
to
are
the
variables
defense.
that you can't quantify.
You
There
can't
are. Like
quantify. Yeah, no, it's not even passion. It's just, I love, when I watch film or something, like one time, a lot of AFC teams have been doing analytics for a number of years. That's why the AFC teams have dominated over pretty much a decade, right? Here's one of the things. We had a guy come up, and I'm not going to say his name because they'd know. He goes, in the second half, if you don't, in the first 2 possessions, don't get a first down, you lower your percentage of winning the game. I stood up and said, no, Sherlock. Yes, you don't need numbers to tell me that. That means you are punting the ball on 4th down, and you're giving you're giving the ball to the other team.
Early in the second half. Yeah,
Early in the second half.
Right.
We all know that. I don't need numbers and a calculator.
Make the case for
And
why you can
almanac.
add to that.
Well,
obviously.
what you have to do is be efficient, smart, and intelligent,
All right.
and also just call a good game plan.
Well, I'd rather have analytics that tell you that the team you're playing this week tends to put their nickel defense out at the start of the second half, so you want to run at the start of the second half. Or they tend to put out their heavy defense, so you want to pass at the start of the
That's
second
awesome.
half.
Right.
I want to look a lot more at matchups.
But you can be in a nickel defense and have a guy named J.J. Watt, and those numbers don't mean nothing.
Well, what they mean is if you're playing Houston, it's a different world than if you're playing Cleveland or if you're playing New England.
Right.
Each of these teams has
Miles
different
Garrett
strengths and
is-
weaknesses.
Miles Garrett is not.
We could do this all
We
day
understand
long.
there's a place in it for analytics. There's a reason why 32 teams use this data.
Here's
right?
what I would say. Here's what I would say, and that is a lot of analytics is about probabilities, right?
Correct.
There's a span of probabilities from here to there.
Right.
And what makes you come out in the high part of the probabilities versus the low part of the probabilities are all of those intangible things that you can't measure with analytics.
Right.
But a lot of what analytics helps you do is see where the range is and then see maybe what coaching decisions are going to help you succeed more, what coaching decisions are going to give away more wins, going to get you more wins, which players maybe are more likely to do well the next year, are less likely to do well the next year. Whether or not they actually play better the next year, in some ways is up to them. They're training.
Okay.
Do they have their head on straight?
Gotcha.
Are they learning things right? That's when you come out on the high side of the span. But still, the span is going to be different. The span this year for Cleveland is different than the span for New England. But there's a lot of variables going on with both teams.
Okay.
Aaron's got the book here, and this is our sports almanac going to 2038.
Whoa!
Right? So you
Like
got it.
Back to the
Wait,
Future?
what?
Back to the future, Biff style. Aaron,
Oh, we got some
give us
questions.
two answers here. One, who do you guys have as the number one rated team this year? And then in 2038, who do you have the team or the player that's going to be the biggest star in the league?
Offense is more predictable than defense. So we have Pittsburgh as the number one team, but we have New England with the most wins because they have the easiest projected schedule in the league. 7 of our top 9 teams are NFC teams. So our top 2
7 of
teams,
9.
top 2 teams are the top 2 teams in the AFC, and then
Next 3 through
even
9
if
are all
all
NFC?
7 of those
Fair.
next teams match their projection, one of them has to miss the playoffs.
You can only have 6.
You can only have 6.
See this thing. I'm gonna start making
And the
some
other thing,
bets.
2038, I can't tell you who's going to be the best player in 2038, but I can tell you who I think we're all going to know because they're going to be in broadcast booths. I'm going to give you 2 names.
Okay.
Josh Rosen,
Okay, already.
because he's smart and controversial.
Right.
And Odell Beckham, because he's bright and everybody loves him.
Who's gonna be in the booth? Who's gonna be a
That's
broadcaster?
who's going to be in the
That's
booth.
it.
Josh Rosen and Odell Beckham. Those are the
Those are
2
your
players
future
that I think
stars in
have future
broadcasting.
stars in broadcasting. Yes.
All right.
I won't see any of them because I'll be on a beach in Italy.
League MVP. League MVP.
I love the $1,000,000,000 man, Aaron Rodgers, because
Aaron
I think
Rodgers, League MVP.
when the Packers dramatically improve this
2038.
year, it's going to be obvious. It's quarterback play. Quarterback play is what improves them.
Okay, this is fake. Don't
no, I
people
gotta
don't
go.
go don't
I gotta-
go by this.
gotta
But go
go
check
make
out
I like
the
that.
all new 2018 edition of what the Boston Globe is calling the Bible for the super fan. And
Hey, you got
anybody who
pictures
plays
in there?
fantasy
Any
football,
pictures in
by
that
the
one?
way, check out
We
Football
have no
Outsiders.
photos. I'm sorry.
I can't read it.
Photos cost
Appreciate you
money,
being
man.
here.
Photos
Thank you so
cost
much,
money.
Aaron Schatz.